The Wu-Tang Clan is not only the greatest rap crew of all time, but they're also one of the best musical groups of any genre. And I've decided to rank my 100 favorite Wu-Tang albums. My list will contain both group and solo studio albums by the 10 official members. This also includes side projects that have at least one of the 10 members as lyricists in that group. But there will be no Wu affiliate albums, as that would be an entirely different list. Same for compilations, mixtapes, and soundtracks. I'm also leaving out albums that are shorter than 25 minutes long, and I'm excluding anything released prior to 36 Chambers, as well as everything that was released after its 30th anniversary. Finally, there's no Once Upon a Time in Shaolin because I haven't heard that yet. Alright, it's time to bring the ruckus. I've ranked my top 100 Wu-Tang albums. Number 80.
Devils don't know, get they heads severed. My whole team is guard, did you get the message? Muslim security set by every exit. Calculate the world, everything is measured.
The excellent production by Stu Bangas does a lot of the heavy lifting to raise third chamber Grail bars to this high of a position. The short runtime is part of what kept it low on my list, but there are still some nice verses by a mature Cappadonna, as well as from guest lyricists such as Planet Asia, Ill Bill, and especially Self-Titled.
If you liking how it sounds, then it's kosher for me. Nah, I'm not the type to just loke on the beat. I like to twist something up, put smoke on the beat. I put my lyrics in your head, put hope on the street.
Number 79.
I'm okay, babe, how you? I'm alright, just that the baby's kicking. I want some Popeye chicken, and my back kinda hurt from the way I was sitting. Hurry home so you can rub my big belly and kiss it.
The Emerald City has more of an R&B flavor, but don't think that Ghost is going soft. He still brings it rugged and raw. And there's still some more traditional Tony Starks, such as with Guest House. But regardless of the genre and style, there's consistently superb lyrics as always. Unfortunately, the lack of appearance by any other member of the clan brings it down just a bit.
In the crib on this rainy day, I'm chillin'. Glass pianos and Portuguese drapes hang from the ceiling. Persian rugs, Moroccan sofas. I walk to the house in paisley robes and Ferragamo loafers.
Number 78.
Feds hit the mansion last week on some King Kong. Sats topping on the door like it was ping pong. Shells hit the doorbell, it went ding dong.
The newest entry on my list, as it was the most recent album released prior to the 30th anniversary of 36 Chambers. So I admit there's probably some recency bias going on, but Cap keeps showing flares of brilliance, which means his greatest work could still be yet to come. Fittingly, the best track on this album, Yasuke, comes at the very end, and it's one that I can listen to over and over again on repeat.
Wu-Tang Clan at the SWAT new edition.
Swarming unpredictably, we spread terror.
Killer Beez swarming, protect your neck. There's no escaping once my blade starts scraping.
Number 77.
Magnificent high score, master plan, the crowd roar. Throw up daily doses, get ready for the downpour. Human cannonball, matador standing at your door. Battle your sound more, get ready for the round 4.
Dopium is a solid album. Nice beats, great verses by U-God and the many guest vocalists, which do include half of the clan showing up. But one thing to know, even though there are 16 tracks, 5 of them are just remixes of other songs on the album. So it's cool to get alternative versions of some of the bangers. Problem is, the style of these remixes really aren't my cup of tea. And they also don't fit that well with the rest of the album.
Back, retire mics, take rap to higher heights. Big back, green rap, blow it up, dynamite. Sniff my China white, touchdown with King Cobras. All my life, pay the price. Nickname me Steamroller.
Number 76.
Hip hop icon, my name Cappadonna. Give me a minute, y'all, so I can put my Nikes on, put my ice on, get my nights on. I get back at y'all before they put the lights on.
This is an eclectic one that's hard to pin down, at least for me, but I mean that as a compliment. Sometimes tracks on an album can be so different from each other that song changes are abrasive and they take away from the overall feel. Thankfully, that doesn't happen with the Pillage too. Yet, there's still a surprising variety of sounds and styles to show off Cap's range. And this is also helped in part by the different guest vocalists who step up when given the opportunity to shine.
I love the music cause it killed all the stressfulness. Now I feel blessed, I ain't better than the rest, but I crush more stage than you crushed on steps. And oh yeah, protect your neck.
Number 75.
Impeccable, I'm more than intellectual. Dog throwing dawn that is stir frying vegetable. Tone channel or murk your grandma. For them dead presidents, you should never bite the hand, pa.
I'm grateful to have these tracks. I just wish there were more verses from Ghost. If you take out the intro, outro, and the 2 interludes, then you're left with only 8 songs. And each of these have at least 2 featured guest vocalists. So we don't really hear that much from GFK. But still, it's cool to have things like Ghostface and Big Daddy Kane appearing on the same track. That right there is a legendary team-up of real ones. Regardless, the best song is Watch 'Em Holla, an early Wu-sounding collab with Ray, Cap, and Masta Killa.
Throw rice at my feet, rose petals, Malaysian short. I smoke 2 Cuban cigars in a Newport. An ounce of the blueberry, big bottle of Tito's. Count the plaques on the wall like I sing for the Beatles.
Number 74.
I drink rice soaked in coconut milk mixed with tofu. Sit in the sun 6 hours and I charge up like Goku. Dragon Ball Z. Imagine you're ragging me, that's like walking through a blood hood flag in the sea.
In a previous entry on my list, I mentioned that one of the reasons that particular album ranked so low was due to the letdown from being the immediate follow-up to a high-ranking album that I loved. In that case, it was the Gravediggers' sophomore release after 6 Feet Deep, and here we have RZA again, but this time as his Bobby Digital alter ego instead of the Resurrector. I loved the first Bob Digi release so much, the sequel just didn't live up to my anticipation and high expectations coming off the original. But it does still have some great bangers.
The most beloved from a region undiscovered. I've been hovered over by black buzzard walking through public. Imagine the feeling of growing up 10 children stuffed inside a shack in the project buildings.
Number 73.
Ain't like you about this mic, I've been doing this all my life. My time is best, keep getting that check, cause you know I keep giving my best. My flow's deep and I'm from the street, I don't care about none of that stress. My mind is focused, new chain with a goldfish. Told shit but nobody can't hold this.
Though there aren't many standout bangers on Black is Beautiful, this still is Cap's most solid all-around album from top to bottom of the past decade. Of all his albums on my list so far, I think that Black is Beautiful is the one that I could put on repeat for full playthroughs. And it may also be his single most positive album in regards to the lyrical content. So Cappadonna reminds us, once again, Wu-Tang is for the children.
I'ma keep my mind, I'ma keep my life, I'ma keep my family right. All the time when I'm on the grind, never ever let them out of my sight. I'm doing my best to complete the test, my knowledge gonna show my progress. I don't eat the most and I speak the less, but everybody know me and my projects.
Number 72.
Once again, it's the super high piper. Light your lighters for the future. And I ain't talking about Mackay Pfeiffer. Roll it if you got it, people. At last, the prequel and the oddball. Blower is back. You find no equals.
Almost every track features a different guest artist, including Busta Rhymes, who I personally want to team up with Meth for an entire album, and also Snoop, Missy Elliott, Ludacris, and many more. Now that sounds dope on paper, but along with the unfocused production, it actually combined to make for an incohesive album. Plus, I kinda had hoped that Tical Zero was going to be the origin story of Johnny Blaze, taking place before 36 Chambers. Imagine if the guest vocalist on each track was a different member of the clan, and they appeared in the order that they first met Meth, culminating with a full posse cut at the end. Now I admit those were some pretty high hopes.
Kid, I got a murder rap, in my head is simple. Open up the bullets, put the lead into the pencils. And people saying, Wu gon' break up, y'all, we got your numbers. It's time you got your wake up calls.
Number 71.
Bulletproof goose pillows. I'm still alive since the last time I left. Teflon pajama set, truck armor, neck, on way ahead. Roof for 8 bomb, get drunk and paint the whole town red.
Some of the tracks on 718 are songs that didn't make it onto Ghostface's The Pretty Tony album, but they fit right in here on the only studio release by GFK's crew, Theodore Unit. Still, one of the consequences of sharing the mic with Tony Starks is that it underscores exactly why he's such an undeniable star. His lyrics, flow, and charisma just cannot be matched. The rest of the crew are still great and the beats are solid, but it also reminds that as good as those musicians are, they're just not the original clan rapping over RZA soundscapes.
None of these rappers can touch my pen. I'm a killer, that's why I bounce back in the end. I'm not Freddie or Jason or on probation. The Lifetime Achievement Award is what I'm facing.